What's up, everybody? So today we are going to learn about more about VoiceOver on the MacBook Pro. Now, obviously, VoiceOver on the MacBook Pro is pretty much the same, but we're just going to learn about more navigation stuff and everything. So, I have my Mac computer right in front of me. It is running. It's just really quiet. It's because it's an SSD drive, known as a solid state hard drive. This is the MacBook Pro 2017 with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, SSD storage. So, you can navigate different ways on VoiceOver using the VO keys, and known as the VO keys. It's the Control and Option key, and you can use the arrow keys or the tab. So let's say, for example, in this case, I wanted to see how much RAM and how much storage I have. So I can do command, no, I'm sorry, there's no command for this. So I do VOM, like in Mary.
Menu bar, Apple.
It goes to the menu bar, and then arrow down.
About this Mac.
And then arrow down until you hear about this Mac, hit enter.
About this Mac. Application, about this Mac window, system report, button has keyboard focus.
In this case, it's, it goes to them about this Mac, and then I can use the VO and use the arrow keys.
FEFF7 1XF HD serial number. Intel Iris Plus graphics 641,530. Intel Iris Plus graphics 641,000 graphics.
So there's the graphics,
Intel
and it is
Intel Iris Plus graphics 640.
So Intel graphics,
600 graphics plus
Iris Plus graphics
640 1536.
640 1536
MB.
MB.
Out of graphics.
No idea what that means, but yeah.
One watching now. 0 likes.
And
Switch camera.
we have one person watching.
Chat options. Filters. Options. Button.
I'm not sure
Filters.
who's
Button.
watching.
Options. Button. Filters. Chat options. Switch camera. One watching now. 0 likes.
But anyway, and
16 gigabytes 2000 memory.
so here's the memory.
16 gigabytes 2133 megahertz LPDDR3.
It's DDR3, 16 gigabytes of RAM. RAM is random access memory.
Memory 2.3 gigahertz Intel Core i5.
2.3 gigahertz Intel i5.
Processor.
That's the processor.
MacBook Pro 13-inch 2017. 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports.
And it tells you exactly what this is. MacBook Pro 2017, 13-inch, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports.
10.13.6.
And 10.13.6 is the software version. And guys, if I do not answer your questions right away, it's because I'm not looking at my questions at the moment, so please be patient. Just let you know.
Version, system logo, image. macOS High Sierra.
And macOS High Sierra.
Finder, desktop, Sun.
So that's that. And
Macintosh HD, 1 terabyte, 557.69 gigabyte free volume.
okay, so that's what my storage is. And
Switch camera. Chat options. Filters. Button. Options. Filter. Switch camera. One watching now. 0 likes.
okay, I'm not sure. Okay, no questions yet. So guys, if you have any questions about the MacBook Pro and VoiceOver, let me know.
Try request. Now. Bonus treasure. One bonus treasure available.
And just let me know by posting your comments in below, and I'll answer your questions about VoiceOver on the MacBook Pro, or any question you have about VoiceOver or how I navigate on my own. Let me know. So, there is so many commands for VoiceOver that you can do in here. There's probably even some ones I don't even know myself. And when macOS Mojave comes out on the 24th of September, from what I've heard, my understanding that it will be more VoiceOver. VoiceOver should work a little bit better. Now, I do not know how macOS Mojave is with VoiceOver because I have never downloaded the beta version. But if you would like to test it out for a beta version, and if you feel comfortable doing this, you can go head over to beta.apple.com and sign up with your Apple ID. Before you do this, please make sure you have a backup. I learned this the hard way. Because I forgot to do a backup, and I should have done a backup with iOS 11 when I did that, and I did not do that, and when I did the iOS 12 beta, I lost everything, pretty much. But I luckily knew all I had. Now, I do have the iOS 12 GM, which stands for Goldmaster. That is the iOS version that comes before the actual public That is when it's released to the public. And I like iOS 12. There are some couple things that can be fixed, but other than that, it runs pretty smoothly. And let me check for some questions.
Megan Schmidt. Hi, I see you have Alex on your Mac. I have that same voice on my phone. Are the commands similar to ones with JAWS? Smiley.
Okay, hello, Megan.
Speaking
And
words. 77% work. Megan Schmidt. Hi, do you have Alex on your Mac? I have that same voice on my phone. Are the commands similar to the ones with JAWS? Smiley.
okay, so I think your question is, are the commands similar with JAWS as on the Mac? I believe is what your question is. But let me look that up again.
Hi, Cap. See you have Alex on your Mac. Cap have that same voice on my phone. Are the command similar to the ones with JAWS?
So the command's similar with JAWS. Sort of. Now what I mean by sort of is so with VoiceOver, okay, let me think about this. So the modifier keys in this case is the VO keys, are known as the Option key and the Control key, and then you use the arrow keys. And then there's some other commands, like the menu bar is VOM. Now, from my understanding, excuse me, Mac has the menu bars do not change as Windows does. So like, you know, you can do different things here. Now, I do have Windows and Mac at the same time. Now, you're probably wondering how in the world is that even possible? With VMware Fusion, which is a virtual machine on the Mac. Now, unfortunately, you do have to pay for it, for the accessible version. You can use Boot Camp. I personally have used Boot Camp, and Boot Camp is a little... It does not work with VoiceOver because you have to start it up in where you have to pick a boot system. But I'm not going to go into that right now. The only reason why I don't like Boot Camp is because you can only run one software at once. This one on virtual machine, or VMware Fusion, you can run two of them at once. So I could move let's say a Microsoft Word document or a text document from Windows to the Mac, or vice versa.
Switch camera. Megan Schmidt. Hi, Alex. One watching now. Megan, hi.
Okay, cool. So, and you can also change the voices. Now, what's really cool, you can, I've already done a demonstration on Terminal, but if you need to refresher what the Terminal say command is, I'm going to do that now.
Terminal, Finder, Terminal, Desktop.
Now, Terminal is like the command line within Windows, but Mac is called Terminal, and on the Windows is called Command, or what do we call it? Do not mess with this unless you know what you're doing, because if you do not know what you're doing, you could potentially mess something up, and if you do something... If you're good enough, you could make it so bad that you cannot even restart your computer, or you could change something in the hard drive and you have to reset your computer to factory defaults. But I have the term a little bit more here, and here's something really cool you can use. The say command. The say command is this.
Hey, say.
So I'm going to change this to Alex for the system voice, -V.
X.
And what I did was I did say space -V, which means say. What I want to say, space dash for the command, V, voice, space, and then type in the voice, Alex.
New line.
Hit enter. Now I'm going to turn VoiceOver off so you don't know what I'm typing, and I'm going to type something like this.
Hi. Remember to subscribe to my channel.
And I hit enter after that, so that's really cool.
VoiceOver.
It's a cool little trick you can use on someone if you have it connected to your Bluetooth speaker. Shh, don't do it unless you are... No one's watching. No.
Start left train. Session Smiley.
And you listen to my other videos, you hear this, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for videos, follow my Twitter, which is linked to my channel. That's what I used. That took a little bit because I had to figure out how to do it and everything. That took a lot of site with everything.
Quick terminal, in dialog, alert, shell, text.
And to exit terminal, you just have the word exit.
Exit, backslash.
And
Quick terminal, in dialog.
that did not work.
Terminate, default, cancel, button, shell,
Actually, I have to do Control C to get out and then exit.
Log out saving session, saving history, truncating history files, completed, deleting expired sessions, seconded. Quit.
Okay. Anyway, what kind of things you want to know about the Mac, like how to navigate or whatever? Like, what's any questions you want to know?
One watching now. Switch camera button.
Like what kind of questions you want to know about like VoiceOver on the Mac? because basically, I mean, on Windows you use the arrow keys and the arrow keys without the modifier keys. On the Mac you have to use the modifier keys, which is VO, known as Control Option. Option is basically the Alt key on Apple terms. Oh yeah, the dock. So the dock is basically like the best way to look at it is probably like where all the applications are. So think of it as like on the desktop you see all the applications. That's kind of like what it is, sort of. Finder is the desktop, but dock is where all the applications are. So let's say I want to open
Dock.
iTunes. So I can do VOD like in dog and then type in iTunes
Items 11:45.
and enter.
Finder. Recording 1 IM. iTunes. Window. Left behind. His table has keyboard photo.
Oh, hello there. And I was in the playlist here.
The left behind. Verticals. Library sidebar table. Row 113. 100.
And I just was doing VO left arrow to get to the library sidebar where all the playlists are and everything. And then I can do VO shift down arrow.
In library sidebar table. Row 113.
And then type in songs.
Songs.
And that goes straight up to the songs.
Out of the library sidebar.
Stop interacting by doing VO shift up arrow, VO right,
Music table.
and then go to music and then VO shift down.
In music table. Row 7923. Status checkmark. Item. Checkbox. Name. 40 in text.
And up to, there we go. And I am not going to really, actually, you know what?
Blank.
I'll just play something, a piano thing that I did, since I did a piano tutorial on that. This is a Joyful We Be. And you can get an idea what the speakers sound on here. And this is not on bass speakers at all. So yeah, that's that. And VoiceOver can be a little interesting on the Mac, but once you get used to it, excuse me, it is pretty simple. What's really nice about VoiceOver on all Apple devices have VoiceOver, okay? So if you are in need of a Mac computer, you do not need to pay extra for a screen reader. The downside to this is that Apple's computers are very expensive. I'm not going to say how much I paid for this. I paid, let's just say, enough money. Now, there was an education discount that I took, that I was able to get, and that was really nice.
Options. Which camera? Cool. How do you turn VoiceOver on and off the Mac?
Okay. How do you turn VoiceOver off, and how do you turn VoiceOver on and off on the Mac? Very easy. You hold the Command key and hit F5.
VoiceOver on iTunes. Window. Music table. Row 2 7920.
So that's VoiceOver on, and do again.
VoiceOver off.
Now, if that doesn't work, then do not VO, I'm sorry, Command FN, and that's knows the function key, and that is located all the way to the left, underneath the key, at the very, it's on the left-hand side, bottom left corner. The Command key, F5. And you can do,
VoiceOver on iTunes. Window. Music table. Row 7920.
yeah, it's pretty fast. Now, here's what's really cool. I'm going to go off a little bit here. I'm going to restart my Mac.
Menu bar. Apple. App about this Mac. Restart ellipsis. Restart. Restart.
Now, compared to other Macs, this goes really quick. So I'm going to restart it now. And this should restart within less than a minute. Because I want to show you something really cool when I log in. And this is something that you can do, but you have to know how to do it. After you log in. Now, usually when you log in on Windows, you hear this little doo-doo, or whatever, this noise, whatever it is. On Mac, you don't have this. However, you can set up a login sort of sound or message, whatever you want to do, to have it play after you log on.
Login window application. Login window. Users scroll area.
Okay, so now I'm going to
enter password. Secure it.
type my password. And now, once I hit enter, listen how fast this goes.
Now, there's my now.
Hello?
You have successfully logged in.
Less than a minute.
Welcome to macOS. VoiceOver is running.
Now, it says VoiceOver is running. That is by default. Well, actually, it says VoiceOver is on, and I changed that to VoiceOver. But usually, it's by default. VoiceOver is on. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I use Automator, an application that you can use to have different applications and everything. a lot of commands. Like, some of them you can use either with Voiceover Exploit as command space. Now, Siri is very cool. Oops. Yeah, you hit command space, hold that down, and I can do this. Good joke.
Why is Yoda afraid of 7? Bill 6, 7, 8.
I don't even get that, but okay. Very funny, Siri. Very funny. And you can change the speed rate by doing Command, Control, Shift.
Rate 55%.
And you have to shift and using the right and left arrow keys.
Pitch 50%. Rate 55%.
Say I'm using left and right arrow, and so going to rate, and then up arrow.
60%.
And say put it in 60, and then let go.
Sunflower songs. 2 items.
And it automatically takes out of the menu, and there you go. Pretty much it. I mean, you can also use the trackpad on here, but I will do that at a later demonstration because I could go on and on and on about VoiceOver because VoiceOver is really cool. Now, let me give you a little, not story, but a little something that I've heard that I thought was quite interesting. So, when Apple came out with the computers, they were originally, they said, or originally say, okay, we are not going to make these computers accessible. There's going to be no screen reader on them. And if NFB, Generation of the Blind, said, hey, you're going to have to put a screen reader on this computer or on your devices because people with visual impairments or who are completely blind are going to use them. So you are going to have to make them accessible. Yep, National Federation of the Blind. Basically, I don't want to say forced Apple, but basically told Apple, hey, you're going to have to make these accessible because people with visual impairments or who are completely blind are going to use them. No one wants to buy a computer that's like, okay, let's say I think a Windows computer is like, I don't know, $300-$400. Plus a license for JAWS is about another $800. Which probably runs up to $1,200 and plus tax is up to $1,500. Now, yes, Apple is more expensive, but you get a screen reader already installed on there. And to be honest, they're a lot faster. I mean, usually, Apple's new computers have the RAM cards chip. They're already on there, but they're just. They're slotted into the motherboard, which means you cannot remove them. You can remove them, but you just have to know what you're doing. The older ones, you can remove the RAM chips, and I've made a demonstration on that, how to do that. But, yeah. So I know this was a very short video, but that was just a quick demonstration on VoiceOver. If you have any questions, even after the demonstration of the video was over, please put your comments down below if you have any VoiceOver on the Mac.
No, Miro. I hold chat options.
So, yeah.
Switch camera. YouTube. Finish button.
And I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on my post notifications, and I'll see you guys later. The Tech Piano Player Kid is out.
Finish. Cancel. End button.